last quarter mile, and Spicy Marge, Revival Power. Here now is True Love in the blue and orange nearest to us, coming to join Zelena. With these as well is Cardiff by the Sea and Stayer running on in the closing stages, but it is True Love and Ryan Moore who win the Queen Mary. Home in second might have been Flowerhead to Stayer, and then Lenny.
They're off for the Group 2 Queen's Vase, a mile and 3/4 ahead of them. Hallelujah You. Slow to get away. Yellow Jacket with a white cap drops in at the rear. Only one behind going into the first turn, and that's Asmarani in the emerald green, who's dropped in last of all. It was a little bit of a dash to the first turn. Shackleton in the shades of green is up, forcing the early pace, with Karmas in the purple and green stars and Scandinavia in the blue and orange, who's caught out fairly wide. And now, at the end of a quarter mile, they begin to run on down the hill. And it's Shackleton who leads up to Karmas, with Firther in a Yellow Jacket against the running rail. Scandinavia is handy, a little wider in fourth place. Widest of all, Spinning Wheel in the Silver Silks is seeing plenty of daylight. Titanium Emperor is back towards midfield in a violet jacket, racing just ahead of Devil's Advocate in the royal blue. Al Wassel Storm mid-division up the fence, the white with the green epaulets. And then Rahib, you might just see the yellow cap bobbing away in midfield for Silvestre de Souza. In turn, track through by Pinhole, the pink cap. Then the slow starter, Hallelujah You, with the cheek pieces. Still towards the back of the field, Asmarani in the green and red, and also in rear the nose banded Too Soon. Racing now towards Swinley Bottom, they're heading steadily towards the halfway point in the Queen's Vase. And up against the running rail, it's Shackleton who now disputes it with Spinning Wheel. They're being slipstreamed by Firther, who's just shading third, to Karmas in a purple jacket racing in fourth. And then Scandinavia, who's a little deeper out in the blue and orange. Al Wassel Storm is in behind horses. Devil's Advocate is wide of Titanium Emperor, and then Rahib. No move yet from Pinhole with a pink cap, who's got about three behind. Hallelujah You is one of them. Still towards the rear of the field, Asmarani and Too Soon. Racing along the side of the course, heading on now towards the final 5 furlongs and the steady climb for home. Pace has been a fairly searching one here from the outset, and Shackleton and Spinning Wheel continue to push that gallop along. The white-faced Scandinavia seeing plenty of daylight, racing alongside Karmas, and then Firther with the mauve cap up the running rail. Al Wassel Storm has been angled off the inner as they swing for home, with 3.5 furlongs left to go in the Queen's Vase. Shackleton and Spinning Wheel now joined by Karmas, who's widest of all. A line of 3 as they swing for home. Firther up the rail needs a bit of daylight. Then comes Titanium Emperor in a violet jacket. Away to the right, Pinhole with a pink cap is plugging on from the rear. Rahib in the yellow is angled out. Karmas has been committed, however, moving inside the 2. Going on here from Shackleton. Firther, mauve cap now in the clear. Rahib on the right in the yellow is continuing to stay on. Then Titanium Emperor. Furlong to go in the Queen's Vase. Karmas, Firther, Shackleton up the rail is rallying. Rahib is grinding away in behind. Karmas leaning into the fence. Rahib is closing. Karmas all out. Wins the Queen's Vase over Firther and Rahib.
Handlers are clear. They're off. And race with a mile here, the Duke of Cambridge Stakes. Soprano is keen and anchored towards the back of the field as they get going, with Dark Jacket of One Look, green colours a Running Line, and red cap of Fallen Angel on the extreme right, the first trio to move through. Start of day, white armlets on the darker jacket has moved through now ahead of One Look and takes third place. Then a keen Soprano in the light blue. Crimson Advocate, distinguishing gold cap, is one from the back of the field. Cinderella's Dream in the royal blue is the back marker of the 7 runners as they come to the 5 furlong pole. And it's Ashim Murphy on Running Line. Last year's winner sets the pace by a length. James Doyle, Fallen Angel running in second. Aurelian Lemaitre is tracking Running Line. Shows in third position on start of day. Billy Lee, Black Jacket One Look on the right is next. Soprano, Billy Loughnane following. This is the home turn. Moving up one position, Cinderella's Dream, William Buick into 6th. And relegates Crimson Advocate James and Donald to be the back marker, but they're coming into the straight, and it's Running Line in the green, pressed now by Fallen Angel. Behind the start of day, Soprano with a run up the running rail. One Look, one from the right coming there. Cinderella's Dream, royal blue colours under pressure on the outside as Running Line heads down now to the furlong pole, and she's got a length and a half lead. Cinderella's Dream, and here comes Crimson Advocate nearest to us with a storming run. run from James McDonald. Brought her from last position, a second Royal Ascot victory for Crimson Advocate. Cinderella's dream is probably...
They're off for the Prince of Wales Stakes over a mile and a quarter. Los Angeles, the maroon and blue silks, bustled up quite firmly by Ryan Moore to get a position early on. Meanwhile, Anmart, blue and white striped cap for Jim Crowley, drops in from a wideish draw, and the early back marker, Map of Stars, is dropped out with both he and Ombudsman a couple of lengths adrift of the principal runners as they head steadily towards Swinley Bottom, and Continuous establishing himself in the pacemaker's role and stalked by his stablemate and favourite Los Angeles. They race on by a couple of lengths. The Royal Champion in a yellow jacket stalking the leading pair as they begin the climb now towards the last 3/4 of a mile. The white-faced Facteur Cheval is in fourth place with Anmart, the striped cap, racing wide of See the Fire in the light blue and purple. Ombudsman is last but one, a Map of Stars with the gold sleeves just at the tail of the field. They're still climbing towards halfway. Continuous setting a decent gallop here, leading by a length and a half to Los Angeles. Royal Champion remains in third, just over 2 lengths away to Facteur Cheval. The nose-banded filly See the Fire on the inner of Anmart, and then Ombudsman and Map of Stars still quietly ridden in rear. They're inside the last half mile, beginning the turn for home now in the Prince of Wales Stakes. Continuous now being pressed by Los Angeles. Royal Champion in the yellow will turn in third, just ahead of Facteur Cheval on the right on straightening. See the Fire in the noseband looking for a way through in behind. Anmart yet to be popped the question, blue and white colours. Ombudsman in the royal blue trying to thread his way through. Here comes Map of Stars right down the outer. Facteur Cheval has moved through to take over, a furlong and a half to go, but here comes Anmart, who's now powered through. Ombudsman has been forced to switch, but is in the clear and beginning to close. A half furlong to go. Ombudsman now moving to Anmart, and it's Ombudsman who strikes on and begins to clear away. Ombudsman, a devastating winner of the...
They're off. They get away. Looks like a fairly decent break. Ancient Rome might have been a little bit difficult coming from the starting stalls as they begin their journey. Bullet Pointed Jeff Coons off towards the left. Some of the first to show. Sisyphean and High Royal are up with those, and Urban Lion isn't far away either, with Whipcracker on the extreme right having the advantage there, leading through to the red colours of the Liffey, and right in behind those as well is best turned out winner Whitcomb Rockstar. They split here into 3 groups with the pink jacket on the extreme left of Bullet Point just leading, I think, to Sisyphean in the centre. Not far behind Jeff Cones and High Royal and Gallery and Talisea Volveri. High Royal is in company with those to Toi My Son, and then comes Silawi. EBT's guard is over there as well. On towards the right, it's Whipcracker leading there to the Liffey in the red colours in second. Kirat's not far behind those. My Cloud, white face, extreme right. Not far off the leaders at this stage. Greek Order's in company with him to Epictetus, and then Tokenomics, and then Arabian Light. Sean is further back behind those, and then Magnus Opus. At this stage, Blue Brothers towards the back of the field. They're heading to the 2 furlong pole. They are wide across the course, and Whipcracker towards the right. Blue Point over towards the far, Bullet Point to the far side with the lead. Making his way through is My Cloud. He's got traffic problems at the moment. Greek Order comes down side as well, as Bullet Point leads over the far side now to Greek Order near side. My Cloud is getting going. Also, Bo Pedro, the yellow jacket over the far side, and Urban Line is with that, running towards the line. Pink jacket, far side, Bullet Point, My Cloud, the near side. I think he might have done it.
Viennois dipping down in the stalls, ready. They're off, breaking out over a mile for the Kensington Palace Stakes, unassuming, was a little bit slow in getting away. They are beginning to split into 2 groups, and now most of them are beginning to track centre to near side. Kehana in a violet jacket has made a dart to come across the near side, where Viennois in the dark green is up with the leaders. So too Kiara Pearl and Muddy Moy in a spotted jacket and serialised, and Rainbow's Edge with the scarlet sleeves is in the group on the right with Snellen, who's also handy. So too is the white face Shallow. Kehana is now right with them with Cheshire Dancer, and then Thelma's Angel, who's midfield in the right-hand group, followed by Bint Al Dar and Rose Prick and Francophone. Unassuming is towards the back of the right-hand group, just about last overall with Misinformation. Thelma's Angel over on the far side is a long way back as Ambiente Amigo leads that far side group through halfway against the far rail. Also up there's a roller with a pink cap, and then Independent Expert is ridden along behind those to Kindest Nation in the black and yellow who's on the left with Rocky Mountain Way and Ariseg. They're moving on down now towards the last 2.5 furlongs. Down the middle, Muddy Moy in the spots with Vianoise in the dark green to Kehana. Thomas Angel in a red jacket is coming through. Rainbow's Edge has been forced to switch, running on under pressure. Snellen is also up there with the orange and red on the sleeves, and so too the grey Cheshire Dancer. Just outside the furlong, Snellen has burst to the front here from Cheshire Dancer and Muddy Moy, who continues to plug on, and then Misinformation in the noseband, who's throwing down a stern challenge. Misinformation now putting her noseband head in front as they race to the shadows of the post. Misinformation over Snellen and Cheshire Dancer. Muddy Moy was close up in fourth. 5 furlongs to the Windsor Castle Stakes. Ardisia is edgy in stall 3 and missed the break. Away well up amongst those towards the near side. Better and better. Dark Jacket with the red cap. Dickensian in the yellow is going fast, and so too is Tough Critic with the green cap. Sovereign Spell is in that right-hand group as well, with Utmost Respect and Wiley Cop in the grey as is followed by Nuevo Slovo. Jan Stain is also in the right-hand group alongside the white-faced Gory Gold, and then Call Me By My Name and Rogue Supremacy and Logie Bear. They've gone through halfway. The left-hand group includes the grey Rogue Legend, who's right up with the leader. So too Shaman Champion and First Approach in the dark blue. Gaga Mate in the red and white, and then Old is Gold and Karma Chameleon, Havana Hurricane, Oasis Diamond and Ardisia. Moving on down towards the furlong. They're across the track here. The grey Rogue Legend is moving through to hold every chance here. Rogue Legend, but there are a whole host of challengers bursting through in the centre. Havana Hurricane, who's coming home strongest of all. Havana Hurricane has blown them away to win the Windsor Castle over Dickensian. Oh, there were 4 in a line in behind. Karma Chameleon, Rogue Legend was right there. So too Nuevo.